Hello everyone, I am doing a deck profile for Phantasm Spiral, which revolves around Pacifist, the Phantasm City. I've gotten a lot of requests in the comments and on Reddit to showcase a deck that uses mostly rare cards, so it's easy to build, and even the SRs I'm using in here can be substituted out for rares only, so you could build a nice rare only deck for Master Duel. I've been playing this in Plat quite a bit, and it's been okay. And I have some replays to show you later on. Show it can be competitive. It's fun to mess around with. I wouldn't say it's a super serious deck, but it is a lot of fun. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. We have 3 Megalo Smasher X, because when you summon a normal monster and you have Pacifist on the field, you get to add one of your Phantasm Spiral cards to your hand, like Phantasm Spiral Battle, which can destroy a card on the field, or where is it? Phantasm Spiral Power, which is basically like an effect veiler and also makes the card lose 1,000 attack defense. I actually kind of want to take out one of the Card of Demise for another Spiral Power, just because I feel like I'm actually breaking Card of Demise a lot. So just further encouragement for people that want to run this with like no SRs or URs for whatever reason, or they just don't have the gems. I think 2 Spiral Power and 2 Card of Demise would be fine. Moving on, we have 1 Phantasm Spiral Dragon. I am running the boss monster. It does suck whenever you break him and you draw into him in your hand, but at the same time, you can always discard him for Paleozoic Venomiscus. Next, we have the 1 Regeki. If you're running a version without Regeki in it and you just have like rares, I would just run a 2nd Torrential Tribute, 1 Terraforming. I do feel like this card is necessary just because you really want to see Pacifist as quickly as possible. 3 Card of Demise, which you could easily cut to 2 in favor of another Phantasm Spiral Power. 1 Pot of Duality. You could also run Upstart Goblin. I personally like Duality because most of the time on my turn I don't special summon. 1 Pot of Extravagance, just to get that draw power to see Pacifist quicker. 1 Pot of Prosperity, just to see Pacifist quicker. I actually have thought about cutting one of these and running Upstart instead, because not being able to search, or not being able to draw rather, while running Card of Demise can really hurt you. 1 Spiral Grip. This is one of the equip cards. You can search it out, you equip it to a normal monster, gains 500 attack. When it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon a Phantasm Spiral Dragon from your hand deck or graveyard, equip it with this card, and inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Like that effect, and I really like that it gets me a free monster that becomes 3,400 when this card gets equipped to it. Can beat over some stuff. 1 Phantasm Spiral Wave. Equip only to a normal monster. First time it would just be destroyed by battle each turn. It is not destroyed. At the end of the battle phase, if the equipped monster battled, you can special Phantasm Spiral Dragon, equip with this card, and then if they have any cards in their hand, your opponent has to discard a card. I actually kind of like this effect, and I also really like it just for stalling. Equipping that to Megalo Smasher has actually helped me win a game. 3 Pacifist. This is our boss card. This card is always treated as Umi. You cannot normal or special summon effect monsters the turn you activate either of these cards' effects, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon exactly 1 normal monster and no other cards, add a Phantasm Spiral card from your deck to your hand. If your opponent activates a card or effect except during the damage step, and you have no tokens, you can special summon a Phantasmal Spiral Worm type water token, level 8, 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense. So the token's great, and basically especially in the token counts as you summoning only 1 normal monster, so you also get to add your Phantasm Spiral. So you get a monster and you get a card to use. 2-dimensional Fissure. I went with D-Fissure because macro is, I believe, like an SR or UR to craft. So we use D-Fissure to keep with our mostly rare deck theme. Any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. I actually had a surprisingly good matchup with Emancipators in Platinum, which I'm going to show you, by running this because they couldn't really excavate because all their stuff would get banished. So this card actually came up more than I thought it would, and I actually really like running 2 copies of it. 1 Torrential Tribute, it could be 2 by taking out one of the Pot of Prosperities or one of the Card of Demises. I think 2 Tori would actually be pretty good in this deck just because most of the time you only have the token on the field anyway, and if they activate or summon something else, you're going to get another token and you're going to get a search. So board wiping yourself, not the biggest deal. 2 Paleozoic Olenoids. Target 1 spell and trap card on the field, destroy it. Once per chain, when a trap card is activated while this card is in the graveyard, special summon this as a normal monster. And so it's a Aqua type, water, level 2, 1200 attack, 0 defense. If it's summoned this way, it's unaffected by monster effects and it is not treated as a trap card. Also banish it when it leaves the field. So I love running Paleo with this deck because if they're in the graveyard and you activate this card from hand, which you can activate it from hand while you have Pacifist and a normal monster out, you can then special summon this from your graveyard, and it counts as 1 normal monster being special summoned, so you can get the search. So, in addition to being another body on the board, you can also use it to get a search, or you can get sponge like another attack by putting in a defense. There's just a lot of options with this, and so I really liked it personally. Paleozoic Canadia, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, change to face-down defense position. It's okay, really I'm running it because it's another name. Once per chain, when a trap card is activated, you can special summon it from your grave, same as only Olenoids, and it also gets banished when it leaves the field that way. Also 1200, also a Aqua Water level 2 monster. And last but not least, well actually second last but not least, Paleozoic Pikia, which you actually could run 2 of these instead of running the Card of Demise. You could actually run 3 of them instead of running Card of Demise at all. And I actually kind of want to run 2 of them. And after the replay, we might kind of go back to the deck profile and show what you could do to make this even more budget. But it's discard a Paleo card, draw 2 cards. Once per chain, when a trap is activated, what's in the graveyard, special summon it, same as the other ones. And then 3 Paleozoic Dimyscus, target 1 face-up card on the field, discard a card, and if you do, banish it. And it also has the graveyard effect. So this works for front row or back row. Like if your opponent activated a D-Fissure or your opponent activated Pacifist or whatever and you didn't want it on the board, you can use Dimyscus to remove it. 3 Spiral Battle, the card that we use just a lot and that we search for a lot. If all monsters you control are normal monsters, target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. If Umi is on the field, you can activate this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 normal monster you control and equip it with all Phantasm Spiral cards you control. I actually do end up using this. I think I showed in one of my replays. But one of the best things is because of the token's a normal monster, you can summon tokens, search this, and then use this once the search resolves if you wanted. Phantasm Spiral Power, if all monsters you control are normal monsters, minimum 1, same as battle. Target 1 effect monster your opponent controls. Until the end of this turn, it loses 1000 attack and defense and has its effects negated. If Umi is on the field, which again, Pacifist counts as Umi, it loses, if Umi's on the field, you can activate it from your hand, and you can also banish it from the grave. Target 1 normal monster you control, equip a Phantasm Spiral, equip spell card from your hand or graveyard to that monster. Then we have Judgment, Warning, and Double Strike, and then 2 Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a face-up non-effect monster, negate the activation. If this set card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon one non-effect monster from your extra deck, which that's what we have Ultimate Dragon for over there, because it is 4,500. It's a rare, so it's easy to craft, and you can just plop it on the field and say, well, I'll try to get over it. But the negate effect and the effect where if it's blown out with Feather Duster, both very useful. Sea Stealth Attack. This is a very good card and stops you from getting blown out by Harpy's Feather Duster. When this card is activated, you can activate one Umi from your hand or graveyard. While Umi is face up on the field, this card gains these effects. Once per turn, you can banish one water monster you control until the end phase. Face up spell and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, even if this card leaves the field. Which, personally, I think that's great because being able to protect my back row, love it. At the start of the damage step, if your water monster whose original level is 5 or higher battles an opponent's monster, destroy that monster. So if the token battles something, you get to just destroy it for free. Also love it. And so that is the deck profile. And real quick, if you wanted to make it look a little bit more budget, I would just go this. What else would probably be something I would want to make an adjustment to here? Probably this, and I actually kind of like that more because the whole not being able to search after you activate pot just really hurts the deck, and I feel like this would kind of be a cleaner build. But before I move on to the replays, the extra deck, which spoiler alert, you pretty much never use the extra deck because you like to be able to activate your Phantasm Spiral cards from your hand, but if you've already burnt them all or you just need access to the extra deck for something, it's there for you. So we have 1 Blur's Ultimate Dragon, 2 number 96 Dark Mist. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and opponent's monster, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, have the attack of the opponent's monster, and if you do, this card gains the same amount of attack. So the fact that it doesn't target is nice, and that it can basically beat over things like that. This card's okay. 1 Ghost Trick, So Cute Boss. While you control another Ghost Trick monster, your opponent can't target it for attacks. You're not going to resolve that ever because you don't have other Ghost Tricks. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Target a face-up monster on the field with less attack or attack equal to the combined of all Ghost Trick monsters on the field and destroy it. So you can destroy something wimpy. And if you do, that monster card zone cannot be used as long as you control a Ghost Trick monster. Don't think I'll ever resolve that. 1 Cat Shark. Well, this card has an XYZ that's originally water. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, target a rank 4 lower XYZ monster you control. Its attack and defense become double until the end of the turn. Haven't needed to use that. 1 Paleozoic Opibiana. Haven't summoned this either, but this card's unaffected by other monster effects while you have a Paleo Trap. This card's unaffected by other monster effects, period. You can activate a Paleozoic trap card from your hand if it has a trap card as XYZ material. You can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, add a Paleo trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Paleozoic, whatever its name is, once per turn. Number 29, Mannequin Cat. 2 of these guys once per turn. Detach a material from it. Target a monster in your opponent's graveyard. Special summon it to your opponent's field. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field while you control this card, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Special summon 1 monster with the same type or attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use this effect of Mannequin Cat once per turn. Gravity Controller. 2 of these dudes. I actually like this card. It is 1 non-link monster in an extra monster zone. It cannot be used as link material the turn it's link summoned. This card in the extra monster zone cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster in the main monster zone. At the start of the damage step, if it battles an opponent's monster in the extra monster zone, you can return both that opponent's monster and this card to the deck, which once again doesn't target and it's a decent out. Defender of the Labyrinth. I actually have summoned this guy quite a bit. 2 normal monsters. Non-effect monsters you control gain 500 attack. All effect monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can target 1 non-effect monster in your graveyard, like this guy or this guy, and special summon it. You only use this effect of Defender Labyrinth once per turn. And then we have Cross Shape, which I never use, and I'm probably going to take out for something else. 2 monsters with different names. If a monster special to zone it points to, you can apply the following effect. We don't use Ritual or Fusion, so we're going to skip over it, or Synchro, pretty much only XYZ. So all monsters your opponent controls lose 700 attack, which, meh. And then we have 2 Triple Burst Dragons, 2+ monsters except tokens. Once per turn during the damage step, when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. During your main phase, except the turn this card was special summoned, you contribute this card, target one link 2 or lower monster in the graveyard, special summon it, then you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster from your hand. Probably not going to use that, but the negate is really handy. Personally, I think that there could be a couple of improvements made to the extra deck. Like, I think having 1 Link Spider, if you have the gems for it, would probably really be helpful, because you can link out the token to summon another token whenever you need to, or just make link plays. And I know that there are some generic Link 2s that you could also run that are normal monsters. I know one's a Link 3, so I'm just going to go and search for those real quick. Where is it? I know this guy's one of them, 2+ monsters, Gaia Saber. So I think I'll actually put him in there. And then where is the other guy? I know he's here somewhere. Here he is, Traffic Ghost, 3 monsters, just another generic. I think I'll take out one of the defenders because they'll only ever use it once. And then I know there's like Lanforus or whatever it is, which is the Link 2, with the generic Link 2. Where is he? There he is. And he's also just 2 monsters, so he counts as a normal, which means you could like link out for him if you want to get rid of your token to get more tokens and you don't have Sea Stealth attack. But that's what I like about this deck, is you just have a lot of options. And anyway, this is kind of what I'd say would be my most optimal build. And I'm going to show you a couple of replays now. And I'm going to show you a couple of replays against some meta decks in Platinum, just to show that this deck can compete. Not the most ideal deck to run, but it definitely can compete. And here we go. Needed some of my Dubby energy drink because my throat was getting a little sore from all the talking. So right off the bat, Terraforming, play Pacifist, Setter Paleos. Our opponent's playing Emancipator, so we want to remove their stuff, get rid of their beard. Just keep going, normal play loop. Pretty much just going to do everything we can to ensure we get as many searches and effects as possible. Our opponent does get to excavate, but it's not the end of the world. So we're going to go ahead and blow that up with the Spiral Battle, and then we're going to Sea Stealth to make sure they can't destroy our field spell. And it'll also allow us to summon another token. So here comes another dude, and here comes another token. So now it's our turn, and we're going to attack, and the Sea Stealth will do its thing. We're going to activate our D-Fissure and just be like, alright, what you going to do? Because at this point, there's not much they can do. They cross out Designator, and we just say, no, we really want the damage, so here's the Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi. No Designator for you. We get the Regeki, and now we're going to see if we get Ashed, and of course we do, because it's just my luck. But that's okay. They don't really have anything they can do at this point. The Dimensional Fissures pretty much won it for us. Summon the Megalo Smasher, get the Spiral Battle, destroy it, get the Damascus back just because more bodies on the board is good. And now we get to beat this Emancipator player per game. And I personally don't have a lot of problems against Emancipators regardless of what I'm running. But a lot of people do say that they have issues with them, so I wanted to showcase that replay first. And then here's another replay we have for you. I'm choosing to save some of the longer ones with more player interaction so you guys can get a better idea of how the deck works. And our hand that we opened, not the best, but it's going to have to do. And we're playing Phantom Knights. And we have Dimensional Fissure, so we are secretly pretty happy about it. And we're just going to warning that thing. And now we're just going to try to draw, get stuff going. Of course they have to summon Maxi, and I'm just going to get beat by Maxi. But once they field a Phantom Knight, we're not going to let it happen. And now we're going to start finally doing things. We're going to put the Miscus on board, Sea Stealth attack's fine. Wind, we're going to get the add to our hand. And now our opponent's just going to try to scoop because we have massive card advantage, and at this point we're just going to get to do whatever we want. Like, we're going to start dismantling their back row because we have the Paleo that does that and the Phantasm Spiral card. And then this replay is really quick. It's only 2 turns, but we're going to get into it anyway just because sometimes this can be kind of funny. Watching just the complete blowout with a deck that is like mostly rare cards, like only rares. So Banisher 6, set, and it's Salamangreat, and we're just like, oh geez, okay. So here we go. They're gonna get Balinks, and we're gonna say nope. No thank you, no search for you. They're going to activate Spinny, and we're going to say, okay, Sea Stealth. We want to keep both of our back row going. I don't know why I activated the second one. Maybe I just wanted to flex. And we just say, okay, you want your Foxy? That's fine. We're going to go ahead and destroy it, though. Get another Spiral Battle, and they say, oh, you want Gazelle? Well, okay, here's your Spiral Power. Negate Gazelle, and then destroy the other thing. It's like, do you give up yet? Do you? Another Balinks. And now they're just doing their little link ladder climb. They're going to go into access code. Someone didn't read my Sea Stealth attack. And I'm like, that's a nice access code talker, but and they just remove and banish. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just keep resolving it. You want to attack it? That's fine. I'll just destroy it. Poor Salamangreat. Nothing they can do. And then last replay here, which this one was a doozy, coming in at 19 turns. terraforming, see if they have the ash, play the field spell, get the search, set, and it's surprise it's Skull Servants. This is gonna be a grind, but we're gonna get this, and I really wish I'd saved the negate because, oh lord, we get Grasslet Greenard, and they now just get all these monster effects as a result. And I'm talking about like tons of monster effects. And they have the max C. I'm like, I was fully resigned to losing this. I was just like, my opponent must be better at Yu-Gi-Oh than me. But we do get it. I remember playing against Grass, the format before it was banned in the physical card game, at a regional, and Grass actually stopped me from topping said regional with Brawlers. And ever since then, I've been a little bit salty about Grass, so I was like, I'm going to play it out. We are not going to surrender. We are going to, like, really make them work for it. And I'm just like, oh, you want to keep doing things? Okay. I'll start doing things. See stealth attack, get our field spell back, protect our field spell, and then bam. Just add things and things and things. And I just see Skull King Servant thing come out, and I'm just like, oh boy. We got around it by negating Lady in White though, so it was okay. Protect our back row, and now we get another token summon, and we get another add to our hand. I was like, why are they doing this? And then the shit cherry on top of the shit cake is I get evenly matched. And I'm like, well, I guess I need to rebuild a board. And at this point, my opponent seems to be running low on resources too. But I'm not letting him have any of it. And of course, they're doing the trap card from the grave that lets me not attack. But we're going to get past it. We activate the sword, we beat over the new zombie, and we say, alright, give us our boss monster. And we don't get to attack because of it. And then we get lightning stormed, and we say, okay, we've been Grasslet Greenard, lightning stormed, evenly matched, and we're still going to win this game, boys. We finally get the D-Fissure at this point, and we're just like, yeah, I don't think Skull Servants can play through D-Fissure very well. And there we go. And I'm just like, yeah, you deserve this loss. Take all of this loss for playing Grass Looks Greener in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's it, you guys. If you like this video, leave me a comment down below. Leave me a like if you like it or dislike it. And once again, this video is sponsored by W Energy. Use the link down below in the code SirLargeGaming to get 10% off. I personally love it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.